All right, family. Hey, family, how are you doing? Mic check, mic check. Let us know if you're hearing us okay in the chat below. We are obviously Enter Shaolin, and yes, we are on our Enter Tai Chi channel. We had a big debate on that last week. If you weren't there, make sure to watch that replay later so you can find out more about why the heck do we have Enter Tai Chi? Why do we have Enter Shaolin? All the deets were in that video. All right, we're going to be talking about Kung Fu, martial arts, health, wellness, fitness, and anything else within reason. I'm your host, CJ Jamie. This is Sifu Fu. Sifu Larry is somewhere in the office. He may make an appearance. You know how it is. All right, let's see who we currently have on right now. We have Ed, we have John, we have Seven on as well. If you haven't already, let us know where you're coming in from, fam. We have Chai Fu Yu, I think is how I would pronounce that screen name. We also have Thomas on, and I wonder what she's reading. Oh, you're talking about the video. Well, that's some music that I had Seafood Larry make for helping me to be able to get more stuff done when I'm dealing with like difficult tasks. So it's music that is specifically for people, it's for all people, but it's definitely helpful for people with ADHD that need to be able to focus on stuff. So what is she reading? I think she's maybe reading over paper that she wrote. That's my guess. All right. I hope you guys like that information. If you like any of our music, you can always go to our Enter Shaolin YouTube channel and subscribe there. We have a whole list of all kinds of cool music to study to, music to be productive and getting stuff done, as well as awesome music that you can meditate to or do some Qigong and Tai Chi to as well. And I just totally mumbled that. Tai Chi 2. That was a little bit of a tongue twister for me. Sorry, guys. All right. Ed, oh, I like your answer, Ed. She's reading the free Ed Shaolin training booklet. Yes, that would be a good one, right? If I could go back in time and take that video, I would re-edit it to have her reading that. That's a good idea. Maybe I will have Seafood Larry remake this one and have it where she has our Nodak Da intro ebook on there. That'd be really cool, right? Seven, it must be filled with all kinds of great information. Yeah, yeah. Speaking of that, there's still time for you guys and gals to sign up and get our intro ebook. In the next month, it will not be available for free anymore. It'll be part of one of our memberships that we're going to have for the first level of NHL 2.0. So if you haven't gotten it yet, if you're not a member, if you are a member, you already have access to it. Just log in and go to the No Duck Not intro section. That's where it's at. But if you haven't ever signed up for it, you can go to entershallon.com/gift. You'll also get not just the ebook, you'll get a 5-day video course from us, as well as some other bonus training in there as well. What you do once you sign up is you're going to receive an email. Make sure you confirm it. You'll get your welcome email with how to log in from there. And of course, if you have any problems, you can always email me at support@entershallon.com, and I will make sure that you get put in the right section. All right. And yes, lots of great information, as Ed also said as well. All right. She hasn't even touched her coffee. Right. She's too busy, but that coffee is still steaming the whole time. So she's going to be okay. It'll be there for her when she's ready. And Thomas is coming in from Texas. Awesome. Well, what questions do you have, family? Hey, Melanie, good to see you on. Also, I just want to let you guys and gals know we have our annual President's Day sale going on as of today. You can go to entershallon.com/join and then use the coupon code presidential to save 45% off of any of our memberships. So if you sign up to the junior monthly membership, you get 45% off every single month. There's also the yearly, you'd get it off every single year that you stay active. And then for the Abbott membership, if you do the 10 pay option instead of the one time, you would get 45% off of each of those installments. So go check that out. Again, entershallon.com/join, and you get 45% off. Put the coupon code at checkout, presidential. It could be lowercase, it could be all caps, it could be a combination thereof. It doesn't matter. As long as it says presidential, when you hit apply, you'll see that 45% comes off right away. That sale is going to be going on to the 21st, which is next Friday, which also is an important date for our members that have already signed up for the founder spot for Enter Shaolin 2.0, because that's when I will do the pre-launch with them on that day. So there's still time for you guys and gals to get access to the OG Enter Shaolin training hall. It's going to save you the most amount of money in all of our training, and it'll also give give you the ability to be able to access Enter Shaolin 2.0 as a founder if you choose to go on that path with us as well. So check it out if you haven't already. Caesar says, hi, family. Happy to be here one more time from Tijuana, Baja, California, Mexico. All right. Good to see you. Also, family, we are going to be changing. Do you know, is this going to be like for a while, I guess, until like probably next year? Okay. So one of Sifu's students had to change when he does his private lessons back to mornings. So because of that, we're going to be able to do these an hour earlier. So starting next
1:30.
week, it'll be 1:30 Eastern Standard Time instead of 2:30. So that means for members, we'll be doing the 2:30 for your guys' Q&A. So I wanted to let you guys know that. Seven said, could you possibly show us how you might apply the animals in your system? Well, that's pretty easy because we teach the animals too. So what would you like to share?
A particular animal in the 5 animal fist? I teach tiger, leopard, snake, dragon, crane. Any specific one you want to see? Let me know.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. Melanie, what time of day will the pre-launch be? I'm thinking it will probably be around 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is when I will be live and interactive with that. I will let you guys know a definitive time on Thursday. I hope that's okay. Also, for our members that are watching this, if you haven't already got your founder spot and you've been kind of waiting and waiting, there's still, I think, 37 spots left. So you guys can go to entershaolin.com/founder and access that. It is locked out to members only. So the only way you will see that page is if you're a member and you're logged in. So make sure you guys and gals log in first and then go access that. Let's see. Seven says, sweet snake and crane, please.
All right. So it's funny is because Wing Chun is based on mainly snake and crane. So I can show you the combination of the two. They're very, all the animals are very effective, very efficient. Some requires more physicality than others. Snake and cranes are both internal arts. If you want to break down what the principle is, snake is very linear, has circular motion where you can arc through the wrist and use that as a coil thing like this. Crane is very circular, so it uses hooking techniques and stuff like this to create strikes. It has a spread like this. So I'm going to just use some basics that it's like similar in the Wing Chun, but it's distinctly an animal. So she wants to grab. I'm going to show you very, very off of a push. This is easy. We're going to do both a snake version and a crane version of how to do it. So if she's trying to grab me, this is a very good technique right here. Basically, when someone comes at you, your hands come up, meet them this way. You lay hand flat one, raise the other one up. So that's going to make her arm rises. And so you crisscross. So once you do that, you're going to fold and crisscross. So it's like this and just clear it. So now my hand's very clear to strike and strike. So if someone's ever grabbing you, you can simply here and right into the strike like that. So simple crane. That's a snake technique. A crane, a good crane technique is she's grabbing me again. Hook it in this way and come out in this way. You can strike this way with a beak or a wing type of thing. So the two ways, like I said, you can do it like you can do crisscrossing. Like there's different ways, okay? There's gonna be, just remember, when somebody's ever grabbing you, there's 4 ways you can intercept someone's hands: outside, outside, inside, 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 outside, and to the side. I chose the outside, outside first. So again, it's a crisscross. Second one, just to the side where you go like this, and again, you can take. So they're very quick. She's gonna grab me. So it's just simply right here, and you can just go right into the eyes. This is the wing of a crane. So I'm doing a wing. So I hook like this, and I do a wing right here. So let's get closer. So I just create a beak this way. So you see my beak, the wing comes up, the wing folds out, and this is my eye strike. Then you can strike towards their face, their shoulder, the back, whatever. Where with a snake, as you go like this, you are connecting from the outside. You pop one, drop one, you hook across like that, and then you just go right for the eyes that way. Those are simple crane and snake techniques. Hopefully that was something that you haven't seen before and liked it.
Yeah, hopefully that's helpful to you. So what would you say makes what you do with your 5 animals different when we're applying the Nodak NOS system? So I think that was the main thing. Like they're wondering like what's really different about how we're doing it.
We emphasize a lot of energy through the wrists. A lot of styles do it through the shoulders, through the arms. We are about more control, not force and alone, but we're about controlling the force, not trying to take the force, trying to stand. I don't believe in soft styles. Soft styles don't really exist. There's only hard styles and less hard styles. There's no such thing as soft. I talked about that before. So soft styles don't exist. Anybody who tries to absorb energy, it doesn't work. You're going to wind up getting socked in the face every time. What is soft then? If you're going like, well, there's no such thing as soft, then what do they mean soft? Soft is not about absorbing energy, it's about converting energy. That's what soft is. Hard is about withstanding energy, creating structure, creating power, creating a force. You want to combine that. So it's like, yeah, I have a very hard arm block, and what happens? She's punching harder. That's where soft comes in. Soft is about to be able to convert someone's energy, never to absorb someone's energy. People who use soft as absorption will get punched in the face. It's pretty much almost guaranteed. So that's what makes us different. People's philosophy about being soft is to absorb energy, to take someone's force. Hogwash, it won't work. Like I said, you can't absorb it because you're letting the energy come into you. Now he's dictating the pressure. You have to dictate pressure. You have to mix hard and soft. And like I said, soft is the ability to convert energy, not absorb energy. That's what soft is for us. And that's the balance between having a very hard structure in the arm and then the turning of the wrist is my soft. So that's how I can convert energy. I don't convert it to the arms. Arms are made to make pressure, to create structure, to create intent. It's made so you create force. Wrist is designed to dissipate pressure off the arm, so that way you can redirect the pressure, you can control the pressure, and you can focus the pressure into whatever you want. So that's our philosophy that makes us different from most people's philosophy. We are not about trying to overcome one's force. We're not about trying to get rid of one's force. We're not trying to overwhelm someone. We are basically converting energy all the time. So it doesn't matter if he's bigger and stronger because we're not trying to resist it. We're trying to assist it. That's what makes our principles and our philosophies different from other styles. I've seen hard styles. I'm not taking away any other styles, but the problem with that is, like I said, there's some size and some strength based on that. So you got a 100-pound guy doing it to a 250-pound guy. If he's using size and strength as his factor to make it work, it's gonna fail him because it is strength based. Ours is not. Ours is not strength based. Ours is manipulating the pressure, controlling the pressure, not overcoming the pressure or outdoing the guy or coming fast or coming harder. It works great when you could put more pressure on him, but when he puts more pressure on you, what do? We learn how to convert that pressure, not try to be more fast or more powerful and prevent him from doing it. We learn how to take advantage of it when he does it.
So let's see. Seven said, yes, so satisfying. I always considered grappling arts as soft arts. And Damien said, balance of yin and yang. Yes, all about the balance up in here. That's right, Damien. And thank you for being one of our awesome members. And speaking of awesome members, we also have Caesar, who just gave us some super chat love. He says, in the 5 animals, leopard and dragon, please. So could you share a little bit about that?
Sure. What makes leopard very unique is leopard does not deflect or try to block. Leopard, the way we learned it, is a system where you are actually striking the person. So there is no such thing as taking the hit. It's about always creating the hit. So leopard, unique about the leopard is it is always attacking what it's coming at. So if she's, I'm going to use the same kind of like this because we can go to any kind of thing, but the principle of a leopard is again, it doesn't intercept to try to deflect, to roll, whatever. Leopard is about striking. So if I'm like this and she's punching me, it's about striking her limbs. So I can go into the strike like this. So if she's giving me a hook punch aside, we don't bring the arm up and receive it. Leopard actually strikes into it and they strike back at an opponent. So it is using a half closed hand position, striking from the mid knuckle, back of the wrist, palm. It uses forearms, elbows just as much as anybody. She's punching me. I can be like this and go into her arm like this. So you can see the pressure here. And I can hook it this way and then strike this way like that. If she's, don't come at me hard.
Okay.
But she comes at me and again, I can go into that and strike into where I can just create the attack and pounce on the person very, very quickly. That's why I don't come hard. I don't want you to come and get hit.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I got work to do tonight.
We are learning how to create strikes. If she's throwing a hook punch, so because you can see. So leopard is about learn how to move in and striking with the elbow. So say I can strike here, strike here, strike here,
that would hurt.
And do that. So it is about pinpointing and striking with a lot of explosive force. Dragon, what's unique about dragon, it has the ability to have the essence of all the other four animals. It has circular motion, it has linear motion, it has hooking motion, it has swift-like striking like that, and it has its own uniqueness in terms of how it connects the hands together, like almost like a ball when you're moving. So when she's punching me, right, the dragon technique is about learn how to just connect from the forearms and the arms like this. So she punches us like and move it in like that. So I'm actually creating a strike. I create a structure and a strike like a leopard would, but again, I don't have to close my hands and hit into a palm this. She throws a hook punch at me. I can, sorry. So in a dragon technique, it's about bridging in. So I can, as she's throwing a punch, I pop the arm up and I can bridge. Can you keep pushing? So I create this pressure and I can create control. So what's good about dragon is I can create the bridging and then I can bridge here and I can create bridge techniques where I can learn how to rotate, which is this a big, powerful moving dragon like this. So she can punch me. I can take movements. Look, I was gonna say, okay. But yeah. So we can do like this and use circular motion like this. And again,
Vicious.
So this is the cycling of a dragon hands like this. So when we do it, it's like this, where they work in tandem, almost like a tiger, where it's more up and down. Dragon's more parallel in its movement. So anything she's punching me, like I said, I go up here and I take her. I hook that in and create this almost parallel type of motion where it's a dragon like this. So this is how a dragon's basis movement is. So when I move, they look like I'm like holding a stick that can be flexible like this. So you can see I'm almost like a mime. So as she's punching, I can do like this here, this way. She throws a hook punch. Again, you can see. Like this. This is how a dragon works. They're very sharp. They're very small in terms of movement, but they can be long into it, how they hook. That's the basis of what dragon is. Hopefully that give you a basis of the 5 animals. All we're missing is a tiger.
Ouch, 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 and ouch. That's all I heard. Well, that's what I know. Fishes. Damien says, leopard is all weapon strikes. I love it. Punishes boxers with striking the hands. Yeah, it hurts. That's where I'm at. Okay, any other questions for today's session? If we don't get any right away, we can move on and maybe do like a little mini lesson, something. Let us know if there's anything you guys would like us to do a mini lesson on for the rest of this lovely webinar. 7 says we have to balance things out. Maybe tiger beat me to it. He's wondering if you could do a little tiger.
Sure. Tiger is a circular system where you use a linear motion combined with a circular motion. So it's designed to take any pressure coming at you, circle it off while coming with a strike this way. So anything that comes at me, I'm going to hook and circle it off with a linear motion that comes back. So tiger is like a circle this way, circle this way. It can go like this, circle this way, circle. So you can see a circle and linear motion that works together. So if she's punching me, a simple movement of a circular motion this way, like this. If she's blocking my arm like this, I can circle it, come right back. So my hands can move this way, they cut across in a circular linear motion fashion. So I'm here, circles, I'm hitting her. You're supposed to block that. So if she's blocking that, I can make a circle out of that, strike that in a line. So again, we use circular motion combined with linear motion to attack. Anything that comes out this arm, she takes my arm somewhere, it uses circular motion and again, linear motion. She punches me again, I can come up inside, circle, linear, and so you can see they use circular and linear motion combined to create the movement of a tiger. It uses open hand with a fingertip, so you can hit the palm, scratch the face. You can use a back fist representing his claw and his paw. You can use forearm elbow strike. They all kind of have similar with terms of the elbow strikes and everything. But it is a linear circular motion movement where it takes any pressure, creates a circular motion from one side into a linear with the other. So it's circular, linear, circular, linear. That's the basis of a tiger. It doesn't have to adhere to it and stick to that way all the time. No, you don't have to. But that's the fundamental base of what a tiger is. That's how when you look at someone moving like this, you're like, oh yeah, he looks like a tiger. That's a tiger. It's a circular linear motion. Whereas a snake, it's coiled. It's coiled. So his hands go this way. So you can see I have a coil in my wrist and I look like I'm laying on the ground and my body coils. So, so this is where you can see that's like the crane. Leopard is this way where everything's tight within his body frame. It uses the wrist. So you could be like that, quick whip like striking. Like I said, dragon, like I said, I talked about that. It uses like a parallel similar motion. My eyes, like I'm always holding a stick and I can move the stick and I can do it like that. That's like how a dragon base is. And then did the crane. Crane is similar to a tiger, actually. It has a very similarity in terms of it creates a hooking and a striking. The only difference is a tiger strikes from the bottom to linear, whereas a crane hooks forward like that. That's the main difference. And besides the internal, external, like, but again, it doesn't matter. And you can make any style internal, external, and how you want it. You can change any style from Tai. You can make Tai Chi external if you want to, because all styles should have both properties. So you can lean on one or the other more. But the animals is beautiful. The reason why they picked the 5 animal system because tiger and the leopard are considered external styles. Snake and crane is considered internal styles, so that's too soft, too hard. And dragon is both, so that's why they picked it. They have unique properties, like I said. I kind of broke it down real quick, but they each have specialties that makes them unique and great. And combining them with what they did to make a system that had a lot of the elements that was uh, useful in training and combat. So that's a breakdown of the animals.
All right, guys. I put the links both to the sale in the chat, as well as if you're new here to be able to grab the ebook and intro course. And remember, you have to put the code in presidential to save the 45% off if you're joining Inner Shaolin. So, and that's also good if there's any members on here and you want to upgrade to an Abbott, that also is good for that too. All right, Matthew, what is the best all of defenses and opportunity to strike off?
Is that a question?
Well, yes, he meant to say what is best all defense and an opportunity to strike off of it. I'm guessing he might have been talking about something that you were doing. Could you let us know
all
which
defense
parts?
and an opportunity to strike off of it.
Let us know what specifically you were referring to. That will help us help you, Matthew. Seven said,
Elaborate that
thank
question
you.
to make it more clear.
Yeah, clarify. Strike off of what? What are we?
Is best defense?
Also, we would never say that there's a best defense. We'd say there's a best offense. We don't do defense here.
We don't
More
believe
like
in it.
counter striking. Actually, you know what? Hey, Sifu, could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, hold on 1 second. It says, what's the best of all?
Oh,
Style?
what style?
There's no one style better than the other. It's a matter of training and teaching. That's why a boxer can beat a kung fu guy can beat a karate guy can beat a judo guy. It comes down to the training of the person and how he was taught and how he developed training. It comes down to the person's skills. It comes down to his athleticism. So there's all kinds of variables and factors. There's some amazing karate guys. There's some amazing boxers. There's some amazing. So you can see people of their right who are champions. I'm sure if you look at any style, you'll study history. You'll be like, yeah, there's this one person that was amazing and they could do this. So all styles have the ability to reach a high potential. For that person. It's all about whether he applies it or not and knows how to practice it and make it work efficiently, effectively for him. So there's no one style that's better than the other. We don't preach styles anyways. Our motto is don't let style define you, let energy refine you. We're all about how the energy works in the body and how to accumulate the body to work, like I said, quickly, efficiently, effectively. So there's no one style. Now, there's principles that you can do that's better than others. For example, if someone's trying to grab you versus trying to run away versus trapping the arms, stuff like that. So principles can make something better, but principles can be applied to any style. So it's not saying that one style can't do this principle. All styles can. That's why we're about the energy. All styles about how the energy works and the principles behind it. So we're about the principles and learning how to optimize the body. So if you're karate, there's a way to punch that makes you optimal, that makes you very efficient, that makes you very powerful. And it all is the same because physics is physics. It doesn't matter what style you call it. That's just a name. That's just a word. It's a matter of how you do it. Boxers have a certain punch, right? They punch like this from the shoulders. We teach it not from the shoulders. We teach shoulder to elbow, elbow, wrist, wrist to point. That's the most optimal way of providing movement, energy, control, power, all that stuff. It is the way that your body should be no matter what style, because it's about the principle of energy rather than not the style energy of the system. The best defense, what do they always say? Is it good?
Offense.
Right. So we don't believe in defensive techniques because it basically is trying to get the pressure off of us We believe in countering or attacking where we can put the pressure on your opponent. So we don't do anything where we're trying to get rid of energy. We're always doing techniques where we're applying energy on your opponent,
Yeah.
not against them. So don't get me wrong. On and against are two different things. We're never going against them. That means we have to be more powerful than they are in terms of force on impact. We're not trying to be more powerful. I mean, more forceful. We're being more powerful. Like I said, we're like a needle. We're not big. We don't have a lot of force, but we have a lot of piercing power. Think of it like that. We're not a big, heavy sledgehammer. Sledgehammers hurt. Don't get me wrong. But when you're like a 5-pound sledgehammer versus a 200-pound sledgehammer, obviously the 200-pound sledgehammer is going to do more force if you can swing it with a lot of force. But if I could change that 5-pound sledgehammer and turn it into a blade or a very sharp pickaxe, if I swing, I can do a lot of damage based on that shape. So we are turning energy, not about the size, but how we focus the energy, how we connect the energy through the body and stuff like that. So for us, it's not style, it is the principle. And like I said, the best defense is a good offense. When somebody's punching you, should you try to get away from it? Should you block it? Should you stop it? For us, we attack it. Okay, just like we saw in the push that we did video, I didn't try to get away from her and stop her from grabbing me. I intercepted, I hit her arms, I trapped her, and then I went for the strike. We don't do defensive techniques because I put you in the mindset that you're the victim.
Yeah.
And so the first thing you do is try not to get hurt. But the problem is if you're trying not to get hurt, you're not stopping them from hurting you. 3 things stop the person from attacking you, right? Knock them out, lock them out, or they get what they want. So obviously, if they want your money, like I said, give them the money. They're not going to bother you if that's all they want. They want to hurt you. Now, obviously, that's not a choice we want them to have.
Right.
So the only 2 options then is you get to a grappling state where you wrestle them, get them on the ground, lock them out in the choke, break their arm, whatever, fingers, wrist, it doesn't matter. Or you can strike them, hit them across the jaw where they get a headache for the next 5 years. It's about, for us, doing the attack on the opponent because, again, if you're just defending, you just may have stopped the first. Here comes the second wave of attack. Now you try to stop the second, well, here comes a third, here comes a fourth. You don't win. No fight has ever been won by someone just defending. They always win by attacking. So, I say this philosophical question. If you had to be in an attack, in a fight, and you can do only one or the other, okay? You can either only attack and the person defends, or you can defend and let the other person attack. What would you rather be? Most people say, I'd rather be the one attacking. Well, if that's the case, then why learn self-defense? Why would you want to learn how to stop an attack rather than learn how to attack? So learn how to attack or counterattack. That is the best option for you in terms of winning a fight if you have to go in a fight. It's the better option of the 2. So our philosophy is, even if they throw the first punch, we're always going to be the one that lands the first punch. It doesn't matter who throws it first. It doesn't matter who lands it first. So for us, it's okay for her to throw a punch at me first, but I'm not going to try and stop her from hitting me. I'm going to hit her. I tell my students all the time, your mental state should never be to get their hands out. It's always get your hands in. So we don't do movements where we're trying to get them off of us. We do movements where we get in on them. So that's our philosophy. That's our principle. And whether you do karate, whether you do judo, tang, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You could take the same philosophy and train your method in whichever system you are to learn how to attack or counterattack rather than block and defend.
Yeah, that's why we say don't let style define you, let energy refine you. We have tons of people from all different backgrounds of martial arts that come and train with us. And we're never like, oh, you can't do your style no more. You have to just learn our styles that we teach and whatnot. We help them refine what they do. Now we might add on other stuff. Like if there's maybe no grappling in what they learn, we're going to teach them our grappling. We always highly recommend Qigong and Tai Chi no matter what a person's doing, because that's going to just make you more well-rounded and more badass in general. So, one of the questions Damien had, do you guys have full forms of the 5 animals? Not currently.
On the YouTube, we have the premium. We have some animal videos and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, actually, that's on Patreon.
Yeah.
On Patreon. And it will be part of one of the Inner Shaolin 2.0 ones. I don't know if it's going to be like the second or third one that we add those on there too. So we do have some intro stuff on that. The reason we haven't been so pressed to get that all sorted out and filmed is because really the animals are in Tai Chi, they're in Wing Chun. You know what I mean?
But
so
doing the video, the forms are long. Animal
Yeah.
forms are very long, and to do that breakdown, it's going to take like at least
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 months to just do bits and pieces and
And
break it
right
down.
now we're
And
doing
we just
inner
don't have the
Shaolin.
time.
Yeah, I was gonna say since the pandemic and stuff, well, we lost a lot of our, personal, in-house business and stuff offline. We are all in a situation where we're working inner Shaolin part-time right now. So when we can get back to full-time, we can get back to a full video schedule, then that's something that we'll revisit then. But we do have some intro stuff on Patreon. And again, that will be moved on to Inner Shaolin 2.0 for probably either the second or third tier. I'm not sure which one we're going to add that onto. So what should you do? Should you, you said, can I just add the Indian principles to your Wu Dang one? Absolutely. So Damien, I know that you're a member here on YouTube. I don't know if you're a member on innershaolin.com. If you're not, take advantage of that presidential sale, grab that because then you can learn all the principles really in depth. You can get on the member Q&As. You can, submit critiques and things like that live, or if you can't, be there, send one in and watch the replay later because we can help you further refine those principles with your Wu Dang one. We have members all the time that are like, hey, I do this style. Can I send you a critique of me trying to apply these principles to that? And we're like, yes, please go right ahead because we can see the energy. We don't have to know your style to see if you're doing it right. I hope that makes sense. Let's see. Matthew said, thank you. And then Damien says, for us, we attack it. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. Attack the attack. Absolutely. All right, family, we still have a little bit more time before we get ready for our members only webinar. What other questions do you guys and gals have for us? And if there's none, Sifu, do you have maybe some exercises that you could share based on the animals? Like maybe one
Mm-hmm.
that we could do? That might be pretty cool. I know we have some of those. Oh, that's what I also was going to mention. We do have some animal training in our core training section too, as well. Jamie said, sweet, good stuff. 7,
Okay,
body
body conditioning.
conditioning. What methods would you recommend for training the hands of beginners and intermediates in terms of iron body training? Yeah, we actually have a whole system on that in our core training section. So, Sifu, what
Well, one
can
of
we
the best
share?
things that you can do to make the body harder is you want to do kettlebells are very good exercises that makes the body stronger. But the key is getting high repetition, make the muscles denser, developing the tendons to make the body conditioned. So I did 1,000 crunches a day for the last like 25, 30 years every day. I did 500 push-ups every day. I would do kicks, 1,000 kicks every day. The basic fundamentals are the best way to build the body in both technique and execution and conditioning. So they are the best ways to develop the body. Like high repetition. You want the muscle to be dense. Like it's unfortunate nobody can come here and feel my arms, but my arms are like rock from the workout.
Kind of rock.
Yeah, so it's done from not heavy weights. I do a lot of calisthenics.
Right.
So I was doing 500 push-ups for the last 25 years every day. I didn't miss a single day for like 25 years. Even if I was sick, I still did it. But I would train and train and train and get the body conditioned to do that. Just deoxidize the blood, get the muscle denser from that. So my body became very hard. Like there's videos of me taking punches from big guys. I'll stand there and just go like this and let them hit me as hard as I can in the ribs. I've taken like 10 shots from Muay Thai guys, elbowing and everything. And part of it is me knowing how to breathe. Part of it is me conditioned. Part of it is that they're not doing it actually with the energy, they're just throwing force, so it's easy to dissipate the pressure that way. But if you're going to train to get conditioned, go high numbers, constant high numbers to the point of failure. See, so I do it like a POF. That's the point of failure. Do push-ups till you can't do no more. Keep track of that number. Then you want to try to get that number to be higher every month. So just push to, let's say you can do only 80 push-ups. Okay, every day do 80 push-ups. The next month do 85 push-ups. Then do that for the whole month. Then the following month, then you're going to do 90 push-ups. And same thing with sit-ups. It's the same thing with sit-ups, kicks, punches. They're all the same. If you can keep that, it's a long-term investment, but it'll get your body very conditioned. It'll get you very hard. It'll look nice too. You'll look
And
very
what about
nice.
like conditioning for
Um,
iron palm
well,
specifically? So
iron
working on
palm or
getting,
arms? If you're doing iron palms, I would always
well,
say
iron
anything,
palms, iron body. So like, we have our
anything
weapon
that
strikes that we
you do
do.
light first. If
Yeah.
you're not conditioned to do it, you take a stick, just hit your arm very lightly. Do that every day. Hit it like 20 times, 30 times, whatever.
It should hurt, but it shouldn't be
Console.
so bad that you can't take another hit.
Remember, when you're lifting weights, it's called controlled trauma. You are damaging your
Mhm.
muscles. You're doing it in a controlled fashion where you're tearing your muscles, and then you give it time to rebuild and it gets stronger because of that. Conditioning your body is the same. Don't push yourself to the point where you're bruised and you're seeing black and blue and you're bruised all over. That's not good. That means you ripped capillaries, you ripped
Yeah.
the muscles. Like I work with one of my friends that we go in the gym, and I worked out with my daughter and my son. I tell them all the same thing. Look, when you're in the gym and you're doing this, it's not about moving the weight. Okay, it's not about that at all. It's about contracting the muscle. You don't need to be heavy, hard, like grr, grr. That's saying no pain, no gain. It's not really true. You can gain without putting yourself through pain. Okay, you can do light as long as you do it slow, contracted movement. You're focusing on the muscle that you're trying to develop to contract. If you do that and you stimulate that, it will cause growth in your body. So you don't have to do it where you're lifting 200 pounds to feel like you're tearing the muscles apart. You have to do it to where you slightly tear the muscle apart because your body can only grow so fast, so much. So you can actually hurt yourself going to the gym. You do too much because you can damage it beyond the way it can naturally heal. That's why it's called controlled trauma. You're traumatizing the body to a certain point so it has time to heal within a couple of days. If you do it where you're in the gym and people who go to the gym, they're lifting for an hour on one muscle group. They really don't know what they're doing. To properly grow muscles, you only need 15 to 20 minutes per muscle group. So if you're in there training two muscle groups, 35, 40 minutes is all you really need to do to train those muscles. 15 to 20 minutes per muscle group. If you're taking longer than that, then you don't know what you're doing well. The proper growth does not need you to be in the gym for an hour just pumping in irons, hard and heavy. That's not a proper way to grow the body. Um, so when you do this slow and steady, like just like thinking like baking a cake. Turning on higher heat does not make the cake bake faster. You just burn the outside and uncook the inside. There's a certain rate that heat transfers and cooks. So that's why you have to have a certain amount of time. There's a certain rate the body grows. You can't make it grow faster outside of substance. You take steroids, you can get it to grow because you're using chemical enhancements. But the body, the natural build of the body, there's only so much you can grow every day. That's why you can't just go to the gym, work out an hour, and then by the next day you've been from 100 to 300 pounds. You just can't do that unless you take pharmaceutical stuff that enhances the body. But naturally, it takes time. Everything takes time. So when you take a stick, just lightly hit, give yourself just a hit. Eventually, it'll get harder. Then you can hit harder. When your body conditions, then you can go harder. Then you can do much more power. You can do it for a longer period of time. You can do different parts of the body. But everything takes time to grow. Everything has a process. It doesn't just happen because you add more, you'll get more. That's not true. So just focus on when you're doing it. Build slow. Always build slow because not only is it good for the body and you'll grow, but it's in the long term. People do it hard and they really hard. When they're like 40, 50, their body breaks down because they beat their body too much. But if you gradually do it, you're not beating your body, you're building your body, and it's better for you in the long run. So that's my advice.
Yeah, and we for members in our core training section, we have a whole section on body conditioning. It is amazing and it's good. And again, remember, it's controlled trauma. If you're walking away with bruises and stuff, I'm like having flashbacks to one of our first webinars, or not webinars, seminars that we did in Washington, D.C. The next after the day, it was day 2. Members and people that showed up for the training, like they were black and blue. I was like, y'all are going way too hard on each other. You need to calm down. So yeah, we teach the right way to do it. So that way you can keep training and you can keep getting the results you want without having that downtime and being like, what the heck am I doing to myself? Okay, we don't need that. If you always need dit that jow, you are doing something wrong. That's what I'm going to say. And that's probably not a popular opinion, but it's our opinion here. Okay. All right. So
I believe you can take things that are natural to the body because, like, for eat food, you can take things that are natural.
no, it's natural. I'm just saying if you always need dit dat jow, that means you're training wrong.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I'm saying. That means you're doing too much trauma.
yeah.
That's what I mean. So that's what I'm referring to. So let me go back through here real quick.
Shalom. That's a question.
Hold on. Yeah, I saw that one, but let me go back up here. Okay. So Shalom says, hi guys. Sifu, when you meet other martial artists, what are the differences you see?
Well, Some people have attitudes. They think they're all high and mighty. I've gone to places where you can definitely see people thinking more of themselves because
And
maybe
places
they're,
where people paid for their awards. We won't talk about Fight Club.
but there are people who are full of themselves. They because they have a school, maybe a successful school or several successful school, they start thinking too much of themselves. Me, I'm always humble. Jesus always said, never elevate yourself because you can be put down. Just always stay humble because you can be elevated up. And I don't believe that principle because what Jesus said. I think that's the way one should be. You should never talk about how great you are because then you have to prove it. And if you show that you're not as good as what you think is, now it's embarrassing. But if you say, I'm okay, I'm this, you don't think arrogance of yourself when you show you what you do, people are going to be more impressed because you're not talking too much yourself. You let the style talk for you. So, I mean, I don't put down anybody. I don't believe that once you ever put down someone, my philosophy is just show what you know, and then people come with their own conclusion.
Yeah.
When I have to spar other people with different styles and I beat them. I never talk about how great I am. I just like, look, you have your philosophy of mine. I can show you what I do, and then we could just go from there. And they get impressed because I don't have to talk good about who I am. I just do what I do, and they can see it themselves, and they come to their own conclusion. I go in the philosophy I've read a long time ago. Anybody who trains any style, they have to believe their system is the best, and they have to believe their teacher is the best. And when they do that, that's fine because they have to. Why would you invest your money and your time in training something? Go, you know what? I think judo is great. I think it's awesome. But I think boxing's better. But I'm going to dedicate myself to being the best judo guy, so I can be the best best fighter there is. Like no one's going to have to, want to do that. Everybody who trains in whatever art, that's why you always hear people say, "My teacher's the best. My art's the best." I never put them down because they have to go based on that belief because they would never put their heart into training in something that they do. I don't put anybody down. When it comes down to it, I just show what I do. They can show what they do, and they can draw their own conclusion based on that. So I'm not about putting anybody down at all. I'm about just expressing my thoughts, my views, and then let them come up with their own conclusion. Anybody who has to put another system down really isn't secure in their own art because if they have to put someone else down, they do it so they can make themselves feel better. Me, I believe in what I do. When it comes down to showing it, I'll show it, and I'll let people. Because let's just say the guy's better than me, that's fine. I never told him
Right.
I was better than him. I never spoke with arrogance. I just said this is what I do, and if he can prove that his system's better, let's say his training's better than mine. I'm humble enough to learn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not arrogant enough to walk away. So I would say that, okay, this is something I never learned. Could you show me how you did that? And hopefully he'll be kind enough and smart enough to show me and break down. And I've gained a martial arts brother. I've gained someone who become my mentor to help me become better. But when you exalt yourself, people don't like arrogance. And remember, as a teacher, what you do reflects with your students too. You got an arrogant teachers, your students will become arrogant. You got a cocky teachers, you got a humble teacher, students will stay humble. So you got to remember how you represent yourself because other people look up to you if you're a teacher. I believe in just being true to who you are and being honest and respect all the other styles because these people who are good, they did put their time, they did put their effort in becoming good or whatever they think is good. Who are you to knock anyone down? Because there's always somebody better out there than you. So you should never knock anybody down. Our goal as martial arts brothers is to build each other up, never to tear each other down.
Right on, right on. Some good stuff right there. Let's see. I was laughing about the geese/geese thing. You're very welcome, Seven, for getting that help on that one. Caesar says, please sometimes share some of those videos when you're receiving punches. Those are basically any of our seminar footage. You'll find stuff like that. We have some here on Enter Tai Chi, and then we have some on our seminar section inside of EnterShaolin.com. Unfortunately, those are the only ones we have. We don't have every time that's happened because you also have to remember there's times that Sifu is having these encounters when no one's around. And we're not filming, but we do have some of that on there. So feel free to take a look at that as well. Apparently I have a secret admirer that's not so secret. Thanks, Matt. I don't celebrate Valentine's Day though, but thank you for the compliments. Appreciated. And also family.
What am I, chopped liver? Okay, I'm just kidding.
Do you want Matt to think you're cute?
I'm just kidding. Just kidding. No.
All right. So Melanie says that's one of the things I like most about my teacher and you guys, the humility and willingness to learn from others. Yeah. It doesn't make sense. If you find someone that is better than what you are, like, why would you not train with them? And it's funny that you brought that all up too, because I was just having a conversation with one of my clients that I've been helping out earlier this week. And he was saying, like, do you guys have people, in MMA that come and train with you? And I was like, on occasion, I said, but a lot of times when that has happened, it's been them trying to prove something. And he says, well, what happens when your teacher beats them? Like, do they train with you? And I said, 9 times out of 10, they don't because
99 times out of 10.
yeah, I know. I was trying to be generous. And he's like, well, why? That doesn't even make any sense. He's like, why wouldn't they want to learn something and get better? And I said, well, if you're top dog wherever you come from, and then some guy that you're trying to prove something to beats you, it takes a certain amount of humility and humbleness to be willing to learn from that person. As like most people that are coming in, like all haughty, proud, ego, all that stuff, if they're not going to do that, they're just going to be like, well, I didn't prove my point, but I'm going to go back to where I'm kicking butt at, and I'm just not going to come over here again.
Sometimes people have committed so much into their training, what they're doing, they don't want to change. That's fine. I'm not here to, convince them.
Yeah.
I demonstrate a show. They're like, wow, it's amazing. We always get the same thing all the time. Every time if this is so good, why don't you guys join MMA? I was like, because I don't do sports. I don't wear gloves. I don't train that way.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that was the other thing he asked about too.
but the thing is like, like for me, most of the times when I spar these guys, they're very impressed. They're very like, wow. But again, they don't want to change what they've been training for the last 15, 20 years. So for them, it's not about just getting better. They want to get better in their art. They don't want to change another system. They just don't. They invested too much time in what they're doing. And that's fine. Again, everybody has their own reasons for training. Everybody has their own likes and dislikes and who they want to be with. And so, but they walk out feeling different. At least they just sit there and they're like, man, I thought Kung Fu was useless, but I've never seen anybody do Kung Fu this way. And so,
at least it leaves a big impression on them. But for most of them, not big enough for them to go, let me learn this. So
yeah, I've one student who was trained from another, actually two students who trained dedicated, and they actually switched because they got to the point where they were like beating their teacher and the senior students. Like he was a junior student. He couldn't beat certain people, but he trained with me for like 3 months. I taught him techniques and principles, how to control the energy. He actually beat his teacher in some of these moves that I taught him how to do, and he beat senior students that would, like he said, that was like 80 pounds heavier than he was. He's a jiu-jitsu guy. So I taught some grappling techniques, learn how to work with the energy and stuff like that. And so he quit doing that because he says, I don't want to spend time training one way, they tell me, and then you train me another way that's opposite.
Yeah.
And I'm confusing my training, saying got to force this, got to push this. Well, you're saying, no, just convert energy, learn how to work the energy. Don't try to fight it, try to manipulate. So he just decided that he loved what I did and decided that that's what he'd rather dedicate his time and money and energy into. And so he became my student for over like 9 years now.
That is awesome. Well, guys, we ran a little bit over time. We had a good time with all of you, and I just want to go ahead and put this in here real quick. If you guys weren't here earlier, we're having our presidential sale for President's Day. 45% off of all of our memberships. And if you do the monthly or one of the payment plans, that means for each installment, you get 45% off. It's not just the first time. So it's a really, really good offer. Go check it out, entershaolin.com/join, and make sure you use the coupon code presidential at checkout and make sure you apply it. You'll see the savings right away and you'll be good to go. All right, family. Damien said, excellent live. Thank you so much. God bless all of you.
Remember, next week,
1:30 Eastern Standard Time. All right, family. We'll see you on the live Q&A in a couple minutes on Zoom.